evening, all. Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for Thursday, the 31st of March, thank God, 2022, and I am so glad to see March. Goodbye. Never want to see you again. It was not the best trading month for moi, all right, and recommendations, putting in stock trades, whatever. It just wasn't a good month. That happens. Does that mean you give up your career? No. Does it mean you trade smaller? Absolutely. Does it mean that just because it's April 1st, it's suddenly going to be different? No. The events of the day are interesting. President Biden came out and came up with a magic pill that we're going to suddenly put out 1 million barrels a day out of our reserves, and that'll lower energy prices. Okay. They're still at $104 and $99. They're not cheap, but they're off $130 level. That's important. Can he deliver on the promise? No. I know you're going to think I'm out of my mind. What did he just say no for? President said we can do it. I question physically how you get it done. That's all I'm saying. Unless they're going to play with smoke, the experts that I'm talking to are telling me it can't be physically done to pull that out of the reserves. We don't have the facility to do that much. We can probably do half that much. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I thought you turn on the pipe, but I guess that's the fact. There's a flow rate bringing this stuff out of there. Maybe that's what they're all talking about. So what's the president saying? Well, maybe he's saying you can get to 500,000, $1 million with our allies doing that, but I don't know that they're going to do that or not going to do it. What's their capability? And do all of them have the ability for another 500,000 barrels a day for 180 days? I have my doubts about that too. I just don't know. I'll wait. I'd like to see it, but I hate to be the naysayer, but that's what you've got right there. What I do see is strength in natural gas. Everybody wants it. As of tomorrow, Putin has said Europe either pays for the nat gas in rubles or they have broken the contract. He has altered the contract, and Europe is saying, you can't alter the contract. Well, guess what? He has the nat gas. It's his terms. He's given them an out. They can go to Gazprom, pay whatever they want there. Gazprom will convert it into rubles to them. Is that acceptable? Everybody knows what the game is. Will they do it? Again, I don't know. But that's how politics work. So let's go to the markets and see what we have. Did we make this month a new all-time high? No. Is it still possible, as I have been saying, that this is a rally that's going to slip, not do the job of getting to the all-time high? Yes, it is still very possible. When you take a look at this extended rally, it did not carry back up here on a daily bar chart. We're getting the first crack in the armor. That's all it is. It's the first break of any seriousness that we're getting. It's 2 days in duration. You haven't had any 2-day break. Not one up until yesterday and today. Interesting. Where's the market fighting? At the 100-day average. So where's my good friend, the Bollinger Band? Aha. It's above the market and hasn't been hit in a while. Okay. So where's the slow stochastic? It's right here. The market is still being bought right now by the pros until the red line closes under 79. When it closes under 79, this momentum is over. And at that point, the downside momentum kicks in. If you want to learn why and how, take your little pointer, just like I'm doing this, bring it up here. You're going to see an icon up here. Click on it when you're ready. It'll show you that, and I'll get you a doctorate degree in understanding Bollinger Bands. You hit the band back here. You haven't hit them recently, so you've walked away from them, and now the question is, does the stochastic momentum take over and the market starts getting down here under a 79 reading? We'll find out probably tomorrow and Monday. I've warned traders not to be suckered into buying the NASDAQ. I'm probably dead wrong. I was wrong so much this month. Remember what I told you, I'm Dr. Swiss Cheese. Higher lows, higher highs, but I'll stick with what I know. You get up to all these key moving averages after using the power of coming off these lows. That's very important. It's not as though you're just beginning and getting through that. You're coming a long way in this market. You were at 12,773. Now you're at 15,122. You don't have in the tank the same juice. It's that simple. The market's starting to stall right there. This is Wednesday. This is yesterday, and this is where you're at. If the red line is lost and you close under 79, I think you'll go back down to wherever the 18-day average is. Currently, it's 14,300. But another story. Does this look to me like it's going to go up for new highs? I'm going to repeat. I don't think this is the environment to do that. You're going to have Fed tightening. Inflation is, everybody's throwing everything and they can't control it. You heard what I'm saying. So far, it's not controlled. The market is building in higher rates. The Fed hasn't done a darn thing yet. The curve yield is within 5 points to 210 of inverting. There's no magic to it. It's inverted intraday a couple of times. But now the dance begins. Well, there's been times when it doesn't mean that you go into recession. I get that. But there's no times it's occurred where you don't get a sink back in the economy. Nobody's saying that. When I look at the Dow, same thing. If you lose the embedded reading here, be careful. This market only once, mid-month, hit the upper Bollinger Band. Since then, it's been having its own set of issues. So we get over to the Russell. I think the Russell peaked right up there. I said it to you in these tapes. So that's a big combination. I think anybody with smart money is taking money off the table there. And now I feel a lot better that it has happened. More important, you're losing the embedded reading, so the momentum is now coming out of the marketplace. I want to start fresh in the market, so I'm waiting for a clean chalkboard. Remember, as a kid, we'd go up there. You kids today, a lot of you watching this don't even know what a chalkboard is. But my generation, I know you've called me an old man on that and all, but your parents did this and all. We had chalkboards, and you'd have to wipe them down. It was a clean slate. Understand the word slate? We writing on slate? I know you don't understand me. VIX cash slipping back here. Again, I leave this blue line on because I've got my doubts about it doing anything. Now, let me give you the tip-off because the canary in the mine. If you get back through 2148, it's your first warning sign where your hair on the back of your neck should go up and you go, uh-oh, maybe this market's ready to come up, and that would mean further break in the stock market. If it doesn't do that, it can still drift down because you have the embedded reading. In the T-bond market, will we culminate and get up to the 18-day average before this rally ends? We could. You should. You lost the embedded reading. Again, I teach that in Bollinger Bands study by clicking up there. 10-year notes, same thing. Lost the embedded reading. I still think you could get back to the 18-day average of closes. 5-year, the same thing. The dollar index, you're now in this area where you're just doing one of these. I won't mention it again, but it's this waving. It's like porpoising in F1 racing. And eventually, it starts winding and going sideways. And it's that effect of doing this in a narrow range that builds another big move. Let it occur. It hasn't occurred yet. You're only at the beginning of it. And you're at the flip-flop, the other side of it in the euro. What did you do since you got up to the Bollinger Band right here? That's where I think the pros came out, if they were long. You went up today, bang, you got hit hard. Not much of a rebound so far tonight. But I think that's the big resistance point. Now in the British pound, if the pound's going to lift up and go bullish, I think any move over 131.79 will be the trigger. And then it shouldn't get back under 131.01 if it's going to go up, and maybe you can get to the upper Bollinger Band. But I'm not looking for much beyond that. Bitcoin, all hairs on your neck should be up. You're losing the embedded reading. If it stays lost, back to the 43,000 level is probably where I think the market could head. The differential between Brent and WTI, well, look at this. Why is that occurring? Well, number one, we got to get rid of May. It's off the board. So we can't look at this. I just forgot to do that. It's off the board. Let's go to the WTI. I just forgot to bring them up on this scenario. Lower highs, higher lows, resistance, 18-day average. President gave you a big package of bearishness. So when do you think that the market says to the president, it's not going to work? I have my own idea. On the chart, why should we get back through the high that we made before he released this oil? So 108.75 to me is a warning sign. If it gets back over that number, why not challenging higher numbers again? I'm not saying it has to run away to these levels, but that pretty much says that the bearishness is gone. Is the market bearish right now? Frankly, no. In order to get it bearish, we've got to get under 98.44. Haven't done that yet, so I think we patiently go, let's see if it can do that or not. And anything over 108.75 is to trigger the other way. So I'll be watching to see. In the heating oil, you ran right to the 18-day average, and you're going to fight a battle there. In nat gas, what do you do when you hit an upper Bollinger Band? You drop down, you're embedded, pros are buying. What do you think they should have done today? So long again, wait for a break, and I think they'll try to buy it again until the embedded reading is gone. Bollinger Band, embedded reading, move your cursor up, get a doctorate in understanding this. I'm Ira. You have a good evening. Welcome. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm here to talk about my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Now, many of you have taken my regular charting course, and if not, you might think you know something about Bollinger Bands. As you know, Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within it 95% of the time, and on a chart, it will offer on the top part resistance, on the bottom support, and the idea is the market will travel within them. We know that sometimes it latches onto that band, goes up or goes down. Well, how do you play with that? Can you pyramid the positions off that type of thinking? Well, I've applied all three of these into 13 different videos that teach you my concept of it. And from that concept, you're able to work with weekly charts and or daily charts. The 13 videos, each about 7 minutes long. The idea here is not to put you in school forever, but to teach. Now, if you haven't tried my complete futures research, I throw that in as well. Whether you've tried this or not, I think it's worth taking a look at. I think you're going to learn something from there. That research, by the way, covers twice daily market updates for you and access to what I call window envelope numbers, which I think are very important when looking at these Bollinger Bands. The next part is a trial to our charting software so you can make your charts look the same way that mine do. It's that simple. Where do you go with it and how do you get all this? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you go to the word education, everything you need is answered there. You can also call my staff. They'll be happy to help you get set up. I'm Ira Epstein, on the road to your education.